Welcome to Face to Face. Our guests today are husband and wife team of Hetal and Java Joshi. They are bringing Hamlet, a Shakespearean comedy or tragedy, what do you call it?
It's a Shakespearean tragedy done in a comical way.
Done in a comical way show here to Boston with some Bollywood stars later this month. We are going to talk to them about the upcoming play and also know a little bit about how they develop their interest in theater. So, Hetal, welcome to our show.
Thank you so
Java,
much.
Again, thank you so much for coming in time.
Thanks for having us over.
Sure. So now let's start with Hetal. If you can just tell us a little bit about the play.
Sure.
Yes.
So yeah, Hamlet. Every time people hear Hamlet, they think of tragedy in Shakespeare and the Othello style rendition. What the Rajat Kapoor, Vinay Pathak. So Rajat Kapoor is the director of the play, and what they've done is, it's clowning. So there are a bunch of clowns that they come together and misinterpret Hamlet. So it's essentially a comical take on Hamlet, but they're delivering the gist of the story that Shakespeare was trying to say, the message that Shakespeare was trying to say, but in a comical way. So it's a very interesting experiment that Rajat and team have done. I think it was done 14 years ago. It has traveled across 18 countries, never come to United States. Many years ago they tried and didn't make it.
So what is the language? This is in.
It's in English.
It's in English.
It's in English and gibberish.
Gibberish,
They say.
yeah.
So it's in English and gibberish.
Okay.
And it's an experiment. So they're known for doing experimental theater, and what they've done is taken Hamlet and they've done a few different Shakespearean tragedies in a comical adaptation.
And so how many actors are there? How long the play is? And...
So it's a 90-minute play. It's a team of 9 people that's coming from Mumbai. 6 of them are on stage. Vinay is on stage. Neil Bhoopalam is on stage. Rajat is on stage. Mansi, Multani, etc. So 6 of them are on stage. Professional sound, professional light guys are also coming from Mumbai. So it's going to be purely done by all professionals from Bollywood with support here from local artists.
Local artists. And tell us about the location, date, where to buy tickets.
Sure. So it's at the Collins Performance Center on August 28th at 5:30 p.m.
In Andover, right?
It's in Andover. Collins Performance Center, Andover.
It's a beautiful theater.
It's state of the art. I have not seen such state of art high school kind of auditorium. When we went there, everybody that we sent the specs to Mumbai, and they were like, no questions asked, everything should work.
Perfect. Okay.
So
okay. And where people they can buy tickets, and what is the ticket price?
So tickets range from $29 to $149. They can buy directly on our website, academyofcreativearts.com/Hamlet, or they could directly go to Sulekha, and it should be on the events page right there. Hamlet the Clown Prince is what it's called, and they can buy tickets on Sulekha as well.
Okay. Now, those are for viewers who do not know, both of you guys are also the founders of Academy of Creative Arts in Burlington, and that's also promotes a lot of education, music, teaching, learning, and theater. You have a nice studio there as well. So my question to Java you is that how did you get into this theater and arts?
Sure. Yeah. To begin with, I would say even this Hamlet the Clown Prince we are doing in memory of my father. So this is even Academy of Creative Arts I would say we are continuing his legacy, what we got from him. But yeah, he actually he dedicated his life for theater. He did theater for about 50 years, got many national awards. He's a renowned theater director, actor and writer, wrote many books, and I think he directed almost 250 plays and performed 2,000 shows all over India.
So what is first? Tell me his name. Yes, okay.
Yeah, that is
Sure.
something I missed.
Okay.
Professor Satish Mehta
Okay.
and my mother Jyotsna Mehta. Both of them they formed Prayog Theater Group back
where
in
Bhopal or
in Bhopal.
In Bhopal,
Actually, they formed it in Indore and they moved to Bhopal. So they formed it in 1976. It's been almost 50 years.
50 years, okay.
Yeah.
And then they went, that's how you got
That's
it.
how I got into. So I grew up in a theater family. My first play I performed when I was 3. So that's how I got the genes and the legacy. Yeah.
Now, Hetal, is it by influence or you were also interested in theatre?
It's actually the love of theater that got us together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even
So
better combination.
yeah, it was. I think it was. So ours is an arranged marriage. Nobody believes it.
Yeah.
We both grew up in India and studied here. And she didn't want to talk to anybody, and it was kind of awkward. But when we had our first conversation, and we got into a topic of what's your interest, we both had a common interest, which was theater.
Okay.
So I have done, I used to be a shy kid. My parents introduced me to theater at an early age, and that, first I wouldn't talk, now I can't shut up. So that was our bonding factor, and that's what. So we both had a creative upbringing.
Okay, we are now going
basis.
to make you shut up right now and go back to
Yes.
Java. So, Java, I see you are carrying a book here. Tell us about this book.
This is one of my dad's book. So he studied a lot about theatre, and he followed mostly Brecht philosophy. And this book, people actually call it, back in India, they call it a Gita of theatre. So it's a must-read book, I would say.
It's called Rangkarm, right?
Rangkarm, I am the Raya.
Okay.
They sold almost, I don't know how many copies, tons of copies of this book in India. But if you are a theatre enthusiast, I would say it's a must read. Highly recommend this book, must read book.
Okay. So now, again, this is a question I have to ask you because I myself, I get very impressed by when real people act and dance.
Yeah.
So, if I have to ask you, with your experience, with this book, I'm sure you must have read it several times, and with your experience, what are the one or two good qualities if anybody wants to act learning? How you can be a just good actor?
Acting is something, it comes from inside, definitely. My dad, that's what I observed when he directed. He never showed people how to act. He tried, what he used to do, just give them a situation or just something about the character and let the people come with their own ideas or own expression of that. Interpretation.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the best way, but yeah, I would say acting,
Can it be learned?
It can be learned. It can be learned, definitely, I would say. But yeah, you definitely need a good guru, and it comes with time and practice.
Sure. Yeah. So now coming back to you, Hetal, about the play Hamlet. So can you talk us a little bit in more detail, or just at least give one insight that any comic scene you might think or remember, or something which might pique the interest of audience. So I want to go and see.
Sure. I mean, I've never seen so how do you misinterpret and create a cluster of something that is such a classical tragedy? Everybody knows Hamlet, everybody knows, and I think the most interesting part is it's a very delicate balance that the actors and the director has to strike, where you're not overdoing it, where you're kind of taking the gist of what the writer was trying to convey away. But at the same time, something that was written in a tragic way, shifting the focus and presenting the same content, same story, and bringing humor out of it. I think humor is a fantastic way to get your message across. Most people connect with humor much better than tragedy, which I find I connect with humor much better than tragedy. Like, Munnabai is a classic example. You can deliver serious messages through humor.
True, yeah.
So I feel like if anything else, I'm excited about how they've taken a comical take on such a classical tragedy, and I look forward to it. I haven't seen this play. I can't reveal, even if I wanted to, I can't reveal more. I've seen snippets of it, and the way it's going to be an audiovisual treat, because in experimental theater, it's not about the stage, it's not about props and things like that. What they are trying to do is create humor with people, their acting, lights, and their actions. So, they are using themselves as a tool to deliver the message and create humor. nowadays there's so many other avenues available, but they're not using stage and audio, the video part of it. It's audio visual treat based on light and sound.
I would say it's going to be it is a very unique experiment delivered in a very classy way. So for theater enthusiasts, I think it's going to be a delight.
And this is for all ages, anybody?
It's all ages.
Yeah.
I think everybody would enjoy it. And one thing I would like to say, Vinay, is that there's a lot of content that comes from India to US. There's a lot of slapstick content. So what people think is the audiences here are not intelligent enough. So that's why they feel like, hey, it's easy, Bollywoody, masalas type stuff. Let's bring it. That sells easy. This is not an easy one. This is, I think we question the intellect of our audiences. This is one place where I think this is going to be a classical experience, a true theater experience. If you ask Mumbai Theatre Guide, if you read Mumbai Theatre Guide and The Guardian and the British, so the reviews that they've written, they've gotten rave reviews over 14 years. So it's going to be a different theatre experience than what people have seen, and I think it's going to be an intellectual experience as well.
That's another goal behind this whole event, is to create this kind of audience here in New England area.
Yeah, I think in Boston, I think the theater is very well.
Very rich. Yeah. I think we have a lot of really
good people, good actors. Like the Hindi Much does some plays. Setu does a great job.
Correct.
Then there are Marathi groups. Their plays are absolutely super.
Bengali groups.
And Bengalis are. So I think that the Boston audience is very mature when it comes to.
So it's about time we kind of feed the intellect and we have the audience. I think Boston is a small city.
Sure.
We are not considered a big city when it comes to big shows, but I think we have a tremendous audience.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about the actors. Those of us who are not familiar, who are the key actors there?
So Rajat Kapoor is the writer and director, or he's adapted. Most people would know him from Dil Chahta Hai, Beja Fry, Mithya. A recent movie that has come out which is getting rave reviews is RKRK, Aankho Dekhi, etc. So very well known award winning writer and director. I would hope that most people know about Rajat Kapoor already. The team of Rajat Kapoor, Vinay Pathak, Beja Fry, I think Chintu Ka Birthday, he was in Rab Devanadi. I think he's done a lot of skits. So I think he's a classic comedy kind of a guy. He actually studied here. I did not know that. He was in Atlanta for a while and then he went back to India. So I think that's the two big names. Neil Bhoopalam, he's a rising star. He's done theatre. He was in Shaitan, NH10, and many like the latest movies. He's actually they're heading back soon because they're all acting in. Many of them are acting in a Meera Nair movie. So these are considered like two true art and theatre artists in India. Mansi, Multani, Puja Sarup, Mallika, Singh, these are all hardcore theatre. Like if you go to Prithvi Theatre, everybody in Mumbai would know these artists. We haven't gotten exposed to these guys. Last time Rajat came, one of the artists was Jim Sir. Nobody knew about it. Now everybody knows about Jim Sir because now he's in mainstream cinema. He was in Sanju and all big movies. So some of these artists that we may not know today, we might see them on big screens soon, like Mansi and Puja and Mallika and those guys. But they're true theatre artists who have done many movies and plays.
Yeah, excellent. Now, Java, your last word on the play.
Just one thing which I forgot to say is, so this show we are doing on August 28th in Boston, and this same show will happen in New Jersey on August 27th, which my brother Amir Mehta, who actually started a chapter of Prayog Theater Group, which my dad founded back in 2012. He started in New Jersey. He's the one who is organizing that there in New Jersey. So these two
for your friends in New Jersey, let them know.
Let them know.
And Hetal, your last word on the play.
No, but all I would say is that I'm super excited because
you can look in the camera.
Oh yes. I'm super excited because I want my kids to see this because I want them to learn. This is what true theatre is all about. This is what experimental theatre could do to you. So I'm super excited about it. We both have a theatre upbringing. Hopefully we can create an audience. If you guys appreciate it, we can do more of this. If not, I think this would be a great learning experience and an audio-visual treat.
Yeah, watching these great artists on stage live in person, it's gonna be an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
Now I have to ask, is there going to be some food after the program or no? It's just pure.
That is a good question. We are waiting for the artist, so we are getting confirmation because I think they have like flights next day and things like that. So we will see. If we can make it happen. We are still working on those logistics.
I'm asking from the audience point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will they have
refreshments?
Oh, yeah,
before
that's
the
what it
event?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
since
not
it's a
like
90
dinner,
minutes
but I
show.
think we'll have some food and refreshments there because it's a 90-minute show.
Okay.
So that logistics we have to figure out. But there will be some food and refreshments available for the audiences.
Excellent. Hetal, thank you very much, and Java, thank you very much, and all the best for the event.
Thank you
Now,
very much.
actually, one thing I should also ask you before I let you go
Sure.
is how is the academic, the Creative Arts Academy doing?
I can. She.
Anyone?
It's her baby.
Answer.
Both
It's
of
her
you.
baby.
Yeah.
I'll start and then she can. Upendraji, I think it's been a blessing that God chose us to do this. We did it for our kids because we wanted our kids to get that exposure, and now we have close to 800,000 students who have been part of the academy.
How many?
800 to 1,000 students that have already.
Okay. 800 to 1,000.
800 to 1,000,
Okay.
not 800,000.
Oh,
sorry.
that's what I
800 to
just
1,000.
wanted to make sure that. That's
Yeah. We've become one of those where people have migrated or moved closer to the academy because their kids wanted to be part of multiple programs. And we did not know when we started that we would create such an impact where people would move from New Hampshire to to Burlington, Bedford, Lexington area just because their kids.
Sure.
So fortunately, we survived COVID. I mean, everything was going well, and then COVID happened, and everybody was worried. How can an social enterprise like this survive? Everybody's blessings, we were able to survive, and now I think we're taking it bigger and better. We actually use this downtime to create a mini auditorium at the academy, so we can have events and things like that. So our goal is that we want to make academy self-sufficient. Eventually, there's a lot of studios getting rented, auditoriums getting rented for academy. So eventually, what our vision is that we can make education free. If rental business of the studios and academy space creates enough revenue, then academy, because we feel like art education, there should be no barriers for parents and students.
Sure.
So that's our goal as a next step is make academy education initially subsidized, eventually free, so that people learn.
Now, since it is her baby, so she has to have a last word.
Yes.
Regarding the academy, as he said, we are blessed that God chose us to deliver this thing to our next generation. So so far
I will say one thing. I have never seen a dedicated artist and a teacher than her. I mean, for the last 6-7 years, that since 2014 is when we started the academy, she's given, no matter how late it is on a Friday, Saturday first thing in the morning, she would be at the class.
Is it a husband talking or co-founder talking?
No. It is somebody with utmost respect talking. She has devoted her time and everything that we've done has been voluntary. We haven't taken a penny from the academy. By God's grace, we've only put in. So she has volunteered her time all along.
It's
Everything
both
that
of us.
comes
Academy
goes into the
is
academy.
our baby,
Sure.
not mine.
But it's a commitment,
But
right?
thanks to all the friends, family, and this whole New England community, they supported us a
Immensely.
lot. Yeah.
Immensely.
So
Excellent.
thanks
Well,
to-
thank
special
you
thanks
again very much, and looking forward to your play.